Loose gravel rolled under Everin's foot, and the wind twisted the robe around his ankles. With a cry, the old man's muscles gave out, and he tripped, falling to the ground and smashing his knees on the hard stone. When Evrin was able to think, he realized he was on the ground, sprawled across the steps. He clutched at the wall, but pain shot through his ankle, sending stars bursting inside his head. He looked down at his sandaled foot. The ankle was twisted, and already his foot was beginning to swell, the flesh white and puffy. Evrin probed it with his hands, and the pain made him gasp. He shook his head ruefully.
"In the name of all that's holy," Evrin said.
He almost smiled, realizing how fitting the words were, given where he was, but the smile came out as a grimace. The sharp pain settled to a regular throb, timed to the beating of his heart. Evrin needed to get to the pinnacle before the next explosion. It wouldn't take Killian long to find the extraction system and then the refinery. He wondered what surprises the Primate had in store for the young man, whether there were Templars defending the relics, or something even worse. Nothing the lad couldn't handle, he hoped. Evrin winced as he tried to stand. Once he would have been able to heal himself, and the pain would have vanished, the tendons knitting together until he was again whole and undamaged. It was an ability he no longer had. Evrin finally used a mental trick to ignore the pain in his ankle and continue up the endless steps. He had been counting, hadn't he?
"What's the point?"
he muttered, yet for some reason Evrin again found himself counting from 1.
1.
Groan. Step. Drag. Pause. Deep breath.
2.
Evrin wondered if he would make it before the extraction system blew. He listened intently for the rumbling sound of another explosion. The pain of his twisted ankle was a constant distraction, occupying his mind when what he needed most was to plan what he would do when he reached the pinnacle. It was just ahead. The stone wall fell away as Evrin approached the summit of the mountain. The howling wind blew with power, gusting at his body, causing the pilgrim's robe to whip against his legs. With no handholds and a sheer drop to either side of the stairs, Evrin resisted the urge to look down. He'd never had a head for heights. The summit of Stonewater, the very peak of the mountain, was a circular space 100 paces in diameter. Located in the center of that space, the pinnacle was the holiest, most renowned place in the Tingaran Empire. The pinnacle shone on the world, and from here the light of the Evermen could be felt from anywhere. Or so the priests said. The pinnacle was undeniably a work of great power. It was a hemisphere of light as tall as a tree and wide as a palace, shining with golden radiance day and night. The glowing nimbus of the pinnacle wasn't too bright to look at, yet its sparkle could be seen for leagues in all directions. Stepping into the light was an experience the pilgrims said had to be felt in order to be appreciated. First came a feeling of warmth, and a soft buzzing sounded in the ears. Closer still, and nothing but light could be seen in all directions, said to provide a feeling of the utmost peace. A few more steps and the buzzing became a crackle. Every pilgrim tried to approach still further before he or she was pushed away. The light simply repelled the visitor, and then the pilgrim was back where he or she had started. People from all nations of the Tingaran Empire speculated about whether anyone would one day penetrate deeper inside, and whether what was inside was simply more of the light or a grand secret of the Evermen, hidden within its confines. Evrin knew the truth. He gazed steadily at the pinnacle as he crested the steps, limping toward it. The light shone back at him, impassive and unchanging. Evrin knew the truth, and he also knew he would have only this one opportunity, and that what he was doing was perhaps the most important task of his life. 5 pilgrims clustered around the light, staring at it in awe. Evrin raised his voice as he approached.
"There is danger here. Begone, all of you."
A voice came from close behind him.
"You don't give the orders here, pilgrim. I do."
Turning, Evrin saw a man with the sword and uniform of a Templar. Evrin noted the yellow eyes. The Templar had the taint.
"The danger," Evrin said, "is from me."
Evrin spoke 3 words and opened the palm of his right hand. A bronze bracelet appeared at Everin's wrist and a matching ring at his index finger. Silver symbols decorated